Bleach, the Thousand Year Blood War, episode 10. Wow. Wow. Like, that was probably, not probably, it was an absolute peak of a masterpiece, masterful adaptation of that fight. That fight unequivocally, hands down, bar none, the best fight of the Thousand Year Blood War arc so far. This first core, the best fight, period. And at the absolute very least, top 5 fights of the entirety of Bleach. Like the art, like just the colors, it being so monochrome, like black and white and everything, and then when Unohana goes Bankai, it just turns red. Bro, when she goes like that with her, like, bro, when she goes Bankai Minazuki, bro, oh my. And I love it so much that they re-recorded her saying that, Bankai Minazuki, because in the Bleach Brave Souls game, she already like recorded like her saying it, like the voice actress, like her saying it, like Bankai Minazuki, but she re-recorded it specifically for the episode, for this moment. She re-recorded that line, and it is amazing. It was and seeing more of, like, the flashback, like whoever is directing these episodes, like, it felt like what was going on with, say, Yamamoto versing the fake Juhabak, like the way that episode was directed, with it constantly going back and forth from the past of 1,000 years ago to the present, and like just the imagery, like whoever's directing these episodes, for real, kudos, and I hope you get a raise. Like, the way it's directed, from seeing like the past to the present, like seeing the past hundreds upon hundreds of years ago with like Unohana in the Rukon district, and like what's really cool is that like her squad members clearly know what she's trying to do and everything. That like when she was in the Rukon district, she was clearly trying to find somebody worthy of like fighting her and whatnot, like because of how bored she is with like fighting and stuff. And like it's cool to see that like her men know like what she's really trying to do. Like it goes to show that like they really knew their captain and everything. And then this giant amount of bodies, and like him saying that, like, I can clearly see that because of this huge amount of bodies right next to you. And Unohana's like, yo, wait, what the fuck? Like like she's like, where did these bodies come from? And he's like, wait, you didn't do it? And then out from the top, bro, comes Zaraki up there, and them fighting and everything. And like the fight, again, art immaculate, color scheme fantastic, the the ambiance, like the atmosphere ominous, the ambiance creepy, like, oh, when she goes Bankai and she squeezes her hand on her blade and like cuts, like that's how she uses her Bankai. She like cut, and then like just the sound of it dripping and everything. And not only that, even before that, before she goes Bankai and she uses Kido to like heal herself, and the way that it sounds, like it's like crackling, and it's like a mix between a sound of like, ice cracking when it's in water. When you put ice in water, it starts cracking a little bit, like a mix of that with like, wood fire, like kindling, like that's like what it sounds like when it was healing. And her talking to to Zaraki. See, I say Zaraki because technically they're both Kenpachi and stuff, so like it's a title that's meant to be passed on. So technically this is a little like, off base, but technically like Unohana and Zaraki technically are the only like actual true like Kenpachis. Like the captain of Squad 11 has always been a Kenpachi in general, but that is technically like pretty much in title only, because nobody has ever killed or defeated Unohana in battle ever. And she's the only one who has that, who truly has that title and everything. And then she got bored and was like, so she went to like the fourth division, became like, the medical captain and everything. And she also like, became like throughout in this episode, that like, Zaraki like subconsciously like stifled his growth and his strength and stuff, so that he can enjoy battle for eternity. And then it goes to Unohana, like she learned all the healing techniques that she could, so then she can stay alive and enjoy battle for eternity. Like somebody on Instagram, which was funny to me, somebody on Instagram tried to direct message me about like, hey, Unohana, that's not the reason why Unohana like, learned medical like anything and stuff. It wasn't to keep her alive, but she literally states it. So I'm like, what was this person talking about? But like just her inner monologue. And also I did not expect myself. This was like even better than I could have ever possibly imagined with this fight, with the inner monologue of Unohana, with Zaraki, like each time he's getting stronger and stronger and everything like that, and like Unohana's like inner thoughts of what's going on, and then the ending of the fight, and then her talking about like, you seemed you were stronger than me, which I don't technically really agree with, because like she clearly could have like most likely like at her 100% she would have beaten him when he was like younger. So to me, I feel like Unohana at the time was still stronger or whatever, but beside the point. Like hearing her say this stuff in inner monologue, and then at the end, like I did not expect myself to cry. I with the music going along with it, and then her just like releasing like her Bankai and letting the Bankai go, just like like re-releasing it, bring it back into her Zanpakuto when Zaraki stabs her, like that, like see that moment with no music and no sound at all, her being there, like it felt like such a sadistic dance, and like you could sum it up as like a sadistic type of like romance with each other, in that like they get off on fighting each other specifically, like they don't want to let it go, but they have to. It's like an enemy is here at stake that needs to be taken out and everything, and like you can fight this enemy to your heart's content. And then like even Unohana talking about like the inner monologue of her saying that like you're gonna probably have a long road ahead of being very bored with your fight. See, I'm getting like a little choked up, but her talking about how like you might be along this long road, like you might end up being very bored with these fights and everything, but you have an enemy that you can go all out against, all out fighting. You have comrades that you can fight to your heart's content, also that you guys can spar with to your heart's content. You have these things, and like her saying that like the bliss and joy that she feels of accomplishing what her purpose is, and understanding that like maybe like doing like all this like thing, all the things that I have done of becoming the captain of squad 4 and stuff, and quitting being a kenpachi and everything, and learning so much of this keto techniques and healing techniques to keep myself alive, was meant for this moment. And like Unohana literally, like her saying that like I won't let you die and everything, and like she is literally like amongst it, like people don't know 100%, she's literally killing him and then reviving him this entire fight, like dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens of times. As like that's the obvious reason why he's blacking out the entire time. Like that's like she's literally killing him and bringing him back. That's some messed up stuff, but it's something that like she needs to do it. She has to, for him to be the next Kenpachi, he has to break out of those limits. And that ending, oh boy. And hearing her say this, but like I did not expect such emotional, insanely emotional music with this fight. I immediately started crying at towards the end of this fight, and her life fading away. I'm like, bro, like I couldn't stop. I started crying. Like I had to stop the episode. Like it just felt like there's like, again, like a romance, but not in the sense of like they're in love with each other in fighting each other, like their power and stuff. Like it's such a sadistic type of like romantic feel for me, in terms of like it's so sadistic and twisted that they just want to keep, in terms of like wanting to keep fighting each other and everything. And then just the visuals and imagery of like just like Kenpachi, like half of like his face is just his skull and bones and everything, and him talking about like, oh, I've finally awakened, and like I have been asleep this entire time. And that's about his like his limit that broke, of him subconsciously suppressing his power so much. Like he's like, I'm finally awake. Like I'm actually awake. I've been asleep this entire time. And then just seeing like Unohana saying farewell to the only man in this world to have ever brought me joy, and she can let go of everything that she has kept and held and stuff and relinquishes it to Zaraki. Like that is the true passing of the torch, of the title, the name of Kenpachi. There have been several Kenpachi in the past 1,000 years, but to me, they're the fake type of Kenpachis, in terms of that, like Unohana has never been defeated or obviously killed until now. So she relinquishes that title towards Zaraki, because that is what the Kenpachis that is what she has instilled from the beginning when she got that title, to pass it on like as like a torch, like of either like, fighting the next strongest and defeating them, or nurturing them. And that's what she decided to do, to nurture him as the next monster of the Soul Society, Kenpachi. And he officially in this moment gets that title. And then at the end, when like, bro, the voice acting of Zaraki, the voice actor, my gosh, like him saying like, please don't die, like don't go, I haven't had enough, like I'm not satisfied at all, like, and enough, and like screaming like, please don't die. And then her being like laughing a little bit and being like, oh, just like a child and everything. I'm like, oh my god, oh man, absolutely one of the best fights of Bleach, period. And I love it just how his Zanpakuto, it's like a proper greeting, and he's and like it felt like just like a proper greeting, like, hello, it's nice to meet you, Zaraki, Kenpachi Zaraki. My name is, like, it just felt so cool. And it was just awesome to finally hear the voice of his blade, of his Zanpakuto. At the absolute, if it's not in your top 5 best fights, I don't know what's wrong with you. There's something wrong with you if you don't think that. That's number 1. And number 2, best fight of this first core, period, bar none. Like more insane and epic than Ichigo versus Juhabak, or Yamamoto versus fake Juhabak and everything. Like, this shit was absolutely, unequivocally the best fight of this first core, period. And absolutely insane, beautiful. And then after this whole entirety of like this fight, like, that was absolutely immaculate, we got, Oetsu, my dude, the blade god, the god of the blade, like, introducing himself to like Ichigo and Renji and everything. And I gotta say, I think that in this moment, when like Renji and Ichigo like meet Oetsu and everything, and like, like seeing all of the Zanpakuto honeys, like all of his honeys, which was really funny to me, like seeing all of them and stuff. I feel like the manga definitely did it a lot better, because what was so funny about the manga was that like Ichigo and Renji were walking, and Ichigo's like, "Don't be fooled. All of these people, all these women are probably dudes." Like that was so funny in the manga, but they took that out of the anime, which was which was so annoying to me. Like that they're saying like instead of Ichigo saying that, he said that like, "Oh, they're probably a bunch of illusions or something." And I'm like, why take that out? It was freaking hilarious in the manga. Like he's saying, "No, nah, don't be fooled, Renji. They're probably a bunch of dudes or whatever." Like that shit made me laugh. But in the anime, it irked me a little bit. So then now they go to, I believe, what is her name? Maro or Mara or something like that. The girl with like the red hair with the really cool like what is it, like a mohawk type of deal with like her hair. Bro, she is an absolute babe. I looked at like seeing her colored and her talking like dialogue and stuff like in animated form. Like I don't know what it is, but she all of a sudden became just like an absolute babe to me for some reason. So then like she messes with Oetsu, saying that like, "No, this isn't your, what is it called, the Hoobin or whatever," which is the place where he like has like all these Asaushi and everything, and like he tosses like Ichigo and Renji down there, and like they have to fight all of these Asauchi because they're all angry with him because of how they treated their Zanpakutos. And like, Oetsu having both Zangetsu and Zabimaru, and like destroying them and stuff, like them being so fragile and everything. They don't genuinely understand their Zanpakutos and everything. And then like 3 days later, it turns out that Renji actually passed the Asauchis and everything, while Ichigo didn't. He gets thrown back home, and the next episode is literally everything but the rain. I cannot wait for this flashback. Y'all don't even know the excitement that I have for this flashback. First of all, Oetsu's honeys, absolutely immaculate. But they're all actually Zanpakuto, which is very crazy, or not very crazy, but it was really cool for that to be revealed. Like in the manga, that was really cool to be revealed. In the anime, kind of funny and everything. But like overall, I think that they really put you like it's a little bit difficult to like differentiate, but I feel like they obviously put a lot more emphasis on budget in terms of the Kenpachi fight and everything. Like they 100% did, and then they got like it obviously isn't bad. It's still like it still gives the feel of like a movie. Like this entire first core genuinely felt like a movie. And like this whole like what was it, kind of like a second half, or like more of like a third of the episode, was like Ichigo and Renji dealing with like having to reestablish themselves, of like trying to get their Asauchi and everything. And Ichigo didn't get his, but Renji did get his, because he can really tell that, okay, Renji, you can like he's a soul reaper. Ichigo, you're not. You're a human and stuff. This is why they're so angry with him, why they're so angry with Renji at first and stuff, but they came around Renji, like, beating all those Asauchi down and like establishing himself and passing, while Ichigo fails. And then he gets thrown out, and then Maro, or what's her name? Maro, or whatever. Like, I don't know what it is, but like the moment I heard her voice and saw her animate, I'm like, absolute babe, like stunning. Beautiful, gorgeous lady and everything. Even though she's a Zanpakuto, but I mean, come on now. But like seeing him throw Ichigo like back home, like I don't know how he did that shit, but he was able to make his own like gate like really quick and toss Ichigo right in there, and then he's right in front of the Kurosaki clinic and everything, and it's happening, and like, bro, I'm so excited. I'm so hyped and excited. Next episode's going to be amazing. I'm so hyped, and I'm so ready for everything after the rain, or everything but the rain. The best flashback ever of Bleach. Best mini arc of Bleach period 2. I'm so ready. I'm so hyped and ready to see like how they're gonna do it and stuff. And like I'm ready for it was also revealed that I think episode 12 and 13 are gonna be together. It's gonna be an hour long finale for the 1,000-Year Blood War arc part 1, the first core. It's gonna be an hour long finale like 2 weeks from now. I'm ready. I'm so gassed for this. I'm so ready. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. I'm hyped and I'm ready. And then this Saturday, there's gonna be some Bleach news going on, and I believe Burn the Witch news coming soon and everything. Hype for that. The 26th, right after Christmas, is gonna be the finale of the 1,000-Year Blood War Part 1, the 1,000-Year Blood War Arc Part 1. I'm hyped and excited. I'm hyped for next episode. Everything But the Rain. I keep saying it. Everything but the rain. It's fantastic. I'm ready for that episode. And then like it's probably gonna also lean into like the finale also and everything. And then like the finale, I know exactly what they are going to end on. And it's in the opening theme. I know exactly what they're gonna end on. I'm hyped and ready for it and everything. This was an absolute masterful rendition of an episode for the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. Like episode 10, absolutely phenomenal, immaculate, everything about it. And the music, like Sojo, he's so good, man. He truly is a master at his craft with composing and the music. Because that moment, and then also the moment when Oetsu like kicked Ichigo and Renji into the pit with all the Asauchi and everything, like it was like I forgot like the track, but it was like dun 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 dun, like that track. I forgot what that track was, but it was like a different mix of it because it has like dun, dun, woo, like it had like a very Japanese like flair to it. And it was so good. Like it was so fun. Like oh, it was amazing. And then like the funny stuff of like them saying like please train us to Oetsu, like them being on their shoulders and on their forearms, like doing like that weird handstand. It was so funny and so good and stuff. Like everything was amazing. But anyways, what did you think about this episode? Leave down in the comments your thoughts about this episode, your thoughts about what I said and everything about Bleach in general. Are you loving Bleach and stuff? Leave down in the comments and everything, and like the video also for all of those things. And subscribe to the channel for more reviews, vlogs, unboxings, live reactions, theory discussion videos, and things like that. So gentlemen, stay classy, ladies, stay sassy, but most importantly, everybody, you gotta stay a little nasty, alright? So peace and love, and I'll see y'all later in the next video. Peace out. May the force be with you always. Plus, Ultra, Latom, Bankai, Bankai Minazuki, bro. Unohana the GOAT, bro. It made me, I cried when she left. In the manga, I didn't even like cry really at all and stuff. I just felt like, oh man, I wish there was more. But because it was animated so perfectly and masterfully, even more so than the manga, with music and the ambiance and the dialogue of the voice actors and everything, bro. It knocked it out of the park, and I started crying. Absolutely amazing. Unohana is goated. She's the GOAT. Man, it was amazing. Peace out, and I'll see you guys later.